Welcome back. Hopefully you had a nice little break. I just turned off the two layers that we worked on in the prior videos. I am going to make a new layer so that all my buttons are kind of in a separate layer. And let's just kind of work on this area here. There's a lot of stuff going on, like there's like a little spherical indentation here, and then you have all of this other stuff. So let's just kind of do that, and maybe we'll work on this, and maybe I'm gonna stop my demo. We'll see. So let's come up here. Let's go ahead and put a circle. You know what? Let me put in some guidelines at this point. I don't think I've gone through that before in the past. Where is my view? Show rulers. I kind of like doing that at times, and I can put my cursor here to the ruler area that allows me to pull a guide, and then right there is where my center line should be, and that's kind of what I wanted. And then of course you can put rulers down to wherever you want. Once you set it, it kind of locks in. Here, let me turn this off. Once you set it, it kind of locks, and so to unlock it you have to go to view and rulers, and then you could hide rulers, or you could, how do you unlock rulers? Give me 1 second. There used to be another tab here. It's crazy how much Illustrator has changed, but you basically have to put your cursor nearby here, right click, and you can just say lock guides or unlock guides, right? Unlock guides, that allows you to unlock it. So if you wanted to have it in a certain place, maybe that's the center or something like that. So yeah, sure, I'll take that. Yeah, let me just do that. And then I'm going to right click and lock guides. Alright, so let's come back in here and start. Alt to start from the center. So here's my little circle here. Right now it doesn't have any fill, so it's kind of invisible, so I don't want that, but I do want that. And then I want to reduce the size, but we want to reduce it, and then hold on. Actually, I'm going to go Control C, Control V, and Control V again, Control V, Control V. So I have a couple copies, I believe. Let's see how many copies I got. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I have multiple copies. I'm going to select all of these guys, and remember I'm going to select this so that it all stacks up against that, so it doesn't move. So I have like 4 or 5 rings in there, which is what I want. So I'm going to take the first one, and I'm going to hold down Alt, so it shrinks from the middle, and Shift. All right, so I can get that one, Alt and Shift. Maybe get that one. That one. Maybe I have one more. No. Nope, that was it. Was it? Yep. Okay. Alright, I guess that was it. Alright, and then I'm going to also now draw some lines here so that I can cut these buttons. So let's go ahead and come with my line tool. Again, I want to go from the center. Oops, cancel. No, I think I'm going to just do that and work with my geometry here. Actually, usually if I'm on CAD it's so much easier, but we're going to keep this all on Illustrator. So we're going to go transform, reflect, Yeah, vertical is fine. I'm going to copy it, and then I can actually now move it like that. And I'm going to use this as my primary button. Of course, it's offset from my image because it's not a perfect, translation, but that should give me enough to go by. Let's see here. I'm going to make another layer. I'm just going to isolate all my stuff for my button. So shift, select that, select this guy and that guy, do that, and then turn off my outer. So now if I select all my shapes, I can go to my Pathfinder and I can do something like this, or intersect, or I can do divide. And then what that does is that it kind of divides up into many parts. I'm going to right click, ungroup. So I really don't need that guy. I don't need that guy. And I don't need that. This is all I needed, right? So I'm good to go there. And then I am going to turn back on my grid, and I'm going to just rotate it using this as my circle center. So I'm going to go to rotate. I believe it's going to be 90 degrees. I'm going to hold down my Alt button and click the center. Type 90. Copy that. Then 2 more. Control D, Control D. So now I have my buttons. All right, that's just my buttons here, my layer 5. So I have my buttons, and then there's a little slight bump, to make it look kind of 3D. So let's see what we can do there. All right, so let's kind of make these buttons look more 3D. There's many different ways of doing this. Control C, Control V. Let's just kind of do. I'm thinking about just doing it this way, at least for now. Actually, take it back. Lock that. Hold down Alt so it shrinks from the middle. Take a little bit. It's not a perfect offset, but let's see if that'll work for us. So I'm going to take the bottom one. I'm going to put a quick gradient on it. Let me see, let's go to the gradient. Take something like that. And basically what's happening here is it's just going light. I'm looking for light here and then kind of darker on the back side here. So I'm just going to change this gradient direction from here, light to, let's go to radial gradient. Get rid of all this. That. So we just want to go from light to dark. And, something like that maybe. Alright, something like that. And then when this thing comes on top, let's say this guy and that guy. Right, you have this kind of a little shadow, and of course I don't want to see any outlines on that one. So you just see something like that. Looks okay. I'm going to put another gradient there too. Oops, not that. On the fill. And maybe I'm just going up barking up a wrong tree here, but Let's just see what we got. Alright, so something like that. And I'll live with that. It's close enough for me. And then let's just put in this little triangle thingamajigger. Again, hold down Alt and then reduce the number of sides to a 3. And then let's rotate this. Bring it here. And because this also has a different gradient, meaning like some parts of it is, you know, there's a contrast between there, it makes the eye look like it's a different, you know, depth. So I'm just going to live with that. I'm good. And let's see. So that's that. So I don't really need these guys anymore because I'm just going to make a copy of this. Actually, I'm going to put a slight, ever so slight outline there, just to pull it off the background, just like that. Yep, good. Take that, rotate again, turn on my little guide, so I know I'm at the center. Alt, click, copy, Control D. So we are getting there. Let me see. I'm gonna hide guys for now so you can see it, and this is what we're working on. So that's not too bad. So it looks pretty good. We're gonna, that's a kind of a thick stroke. Bring it down to 0.25, and then you see here there's a little divot here, so you can see the highlight, and it gets darker up on the inside because it's kind of a circular divot. Again, it's just a matter of playing with the gradients. So I think I'm going to take this guy here and go to my gradient tool, do a circular gradient. That's good. Oops. Where am I? Not that. It's this guy. So my I keep on putting the gradient on the stroke. So put that there. I'm going to go to my metals. I'm going to pick the same color range here. Let's go to circular gradient there. That's good. Like high, low, high, low. I'll take it. Let me turn the other layers on. So now you can see there's some depth there. And there's that. It's a little sharp. Yeah. I'm going to take this to the outside. That's the beginning. This is the guy I wanted. Yep. Good. You know what? Let me see what it looks like if I change the direction from the corner. So alright, stop monkeying around with that, but that's good. I'm okay with that. And then this guy here, this inner guy, is going to be just a gray, right? But let's just pick like similar grays. So maybe some gray over here. So what you could do is you can get an eyedropper tool and say, give me that gray. And it gave me a gradient gray, which is fine. I'll take it. And again, reduce that stroke a little bit. Shoot, we're already going on 15 minutes and we just got only that part done.